You're not from the South. You won't understand.
Hoodoo.
The Skeleton Key, released in 2005, is a masterclass in atmospheric horror, blending supernatural terror with psychological manipulation, all within the haunting framework of Southern Gothic storytelling. Unlike traditional horror films that rely on ghosts, demons, or masked killers, this film explores the terrifying power of belief, how the mind can become both a weapon and a weakness. Directed by Ian Softly, The Skeleton Key takes audiences deep into the Louisiana bayou, where history, folklore, and the supernatural intertwine in ways that feel both unsettling and eerily plausible. The film follows Caroline Ellis, played by Kate Hudson, a young hospice nurse who takes a job caring for an elderly stroke victim, Ben Devereaux, played by John Hurt, in a secluded plantation home outside of New Orleans. Caroline is practical and skeptical, a city girl who doesn't believe in superstition or the supernatural. Her new patient, however, is trapped in a state of near catatonia, his wide, terrified eyes suggesting that something far worse than a medical condition has silenced him. Ben's wife, Violet, played by Gina Rowlands, is an old-fashioned Southern woman who seems reluctant to let Caroline dig too deeply into the house's secrets, yet she provides her with a skeleton key, one that unlocks every door in the mansion, except for one in the attic. The moment Caroline discovers that forbidden door, the film takes a slow but steady descent into psychological horror. One of the film's greatest strengths is how it builds its horror gradually. It doesn't bombard the audience with jump scares or overt supernatural encounters. Instead, it creates a creeping, unsettling tension through Caroline's growing realization that something is deeply wrong in the house. She finds strange hoodoo symbols drawn over doorways, discovers a hidden room filled with ritual objects, and learns that the house was once home to two black servants, Papa Justify and Mama Cecile, who were lynched by an angry mob after they were caught performing a hoodoo ritual on the children of their white employers.
Oh, they were famous all through the bayous. They healed the sick and they hurt the mean. Hit a straight lick with a crooked stick, as the colored say.
As Caroline investigates, she becomes convinced that Violet is the one harming Ben, using hoodoo to keep him paralyzed. Determined to save him, she immerses herself in the world of hoodoo, learning its spells and protections, unaware that she is playing directly into the hands of a sinister force. What makes The Skeleton Key so compelling is its central theme: hoodoo only works if you believe in it. This idea transforms the horror from something external, like a monster hiding in the shadows, into something psychological and deeply personal. Caroline begins the film as a skeptic, certain that hoodoo is nothing more than superstition, but as the film progresses, her attempts to protect herself from it lead her to believe in its power. This concept adds an extra layer of dread because the audience is trapped with Caroline, questioning what is real and what is illusion.
The key you gave me for the house, there's a door in the attic, it doesn't open.
They were trying to conjure up hoodoo.
You know what hoodoo is? It's magic. Leave it alone.
The film's cinematography and production design amplify this sense of unease. The mansion itself is a decaying relic of the past, filled with dark wooden floors, candlelit hallways, and an attic packed with eerie remnants of hoodoo rituals. The sweltering Louisiana heat and the isolation of the swamp make the setting feel oppressive, as if the house itself is alive and watching.
Caroline? You're forgetful, child.
The use of warm, sepia tones gives the film a timeless quality, making it feel like a ghost story that has been told for generations. The final act of The Skeleton Key is what elevates it from a good horror film to an unforgettable one. Caroline believes she is the hero, fighting against an old woman who is using dark magic to trap her husband's soul. But in reality, she has been deceived from the very beginning. The true horror is revealed: Papa Justify and Mama Cecile never died. Instead, they performed a powerful hoodoo ritual that allowed them to transfer their souls into the bodies of their wealthy white employers. They have continued this cycle for decades, switching bodies every few years to remain young and powerful. Every move Caroline has made, her skepticism, her gradual belief in hoodoo, her attempts to save Ben, has been carefully orchestrated to lead her to this exact moment. By the time she understands the truth, it's too late.
Mother mercy, what's he done?
He got out of the window. I thought he said he was bedridden.
Oh, he's having spasms. Did you hear from his relatives?
Yes.
In one of the most chilling and unexpected twist endings in horror history, Mama Cecile takes over her youthful, able-bodied form. The real Ben, who had been warning her all along with his desperate eyes and clawing hands, is now gone, just another victim in the endless cycle. Meanwhile, Caroline, now trapped in the old, dying body, is wheeled away, drugged and helpless, while Violet, now young again, casually explains to the authorities that Caroline had a stroke, just like Ben.
Someone should ride to the hospital with him. Maybe Jill. Would you mind? And we'll meet you.
The house remains, waiting for its next unsuspecting victim, as the cycle of soul transference begins again. The brilliance of the Skeleton Key lies in its inevitability. Unlike many horror films where the protagonist can escape or fight back, this film presents a horror that is unstoppable, one that has existed for generations and will continue long after the credits roll. The ending is bleak, final, and deeply unsettling, because the villains don't just win, they have always won. It forces the audience to reconsider every moment in the film, realizing how perfectly orchestrated Caroline's downfall was from the very beginning. Beyond its horror elements, The Skeleton Key also subtly explores themes of racial injustice, power, and appropriation. The fact that Papa Justify and Mama Cecile, originally black servants in a racist society, found a way to reclaim power and survive in the bodies of the privileged adds a morally complex layer to the film. Are they simply villains, or is this their form of justice? The film never explicitly answers this question, but it lingers in the background, making the horror feel even more layered. Ultimately, The Skeleton Key is one of the most underrated horror films of the 2000s. It eschews cheap scares in favor of slow-burning dread, builds a rich atmosphere that immerses the viewer in its world, and delivers one of the most shocking and well-earned twist endings in horror. The performances, particularly from Gena Rowlands as Violet, are pitch perfect, balancing charm and menace in a way that keeps the audience guessing until the very end. And Kate Hudson, stepping away from her usual romantic comedy roles, delivers a compelling and believable performance as a woman who thinks she's in control until she realizes she never was. If you're looking for a horror film that doesn't just scare you in the moment but lingers in your mind long after, The Skeleton Key is a must-watch. It's a film about the power of belief, the weight of history, and the terrifying realization that sometimes, the moment you understand the truth is the moment you've already lost. The Skeleton Key is one of those horror films that sticks with you. Its eerie atmosphere, psychological horror, and unforgettable twist make it a hidden gem that deserves more recognition. But what do you think? Do you consider The Skeleton Key an underrated classic, or do you have a different take on its ending? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into horror, film analysis, and everything in between. And if you want to support the channel, be sure to turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Carrie's not herself right now. I'm Luke Marshall, Devereaux's lawyer.